Hi, my name's Alyssa Chambers, and I am here to do my makeup and talk about astrology. If you like astrology and you like makeup, then I would recommend that you subscribe so you can learn more. And also like this video, and also please. I'm going to assume that you're here because you either are an Aries or worse, you're dating an Aries. I'm totally kidding. Aries are actually really cool, and I think that they're pretty misunderstood. The symbol for Aries looks like kind of like horns, like a V, if you're looking for it on your chart. And it stands for that it's the ram, or actually the fountain of youth. I think I might do a separate series of the story of each sign, but for now I'm just going to talk about each sign individually and what it means for your chart. I like to think of Aries as the baby almost, and I know Aries are probably going to get super offended over that, but what I mean by it is it's just the baby of the zodiac. It's the very first. And that's really helpful when you're trying to remember the houses later on in the future, that if you remember that Aries is the very first, and that really explains a lot of the reasons that they act the way that they do. So when I say that Aries is the baby, I mean it in a way of that they act like when a baby is first born. That doesn't sound any better. But what I mean is they're very like me, because they don't really know how else to act. They're very competitive because they feel like they have to live up to this like me, it's all about me perspective about themselves, especially if their sun or moon or major things like that are in Aries, because Aries is just, they have that drive. That's their main thing, is they have a major drive. Aries are known for being super successful in whatever they do. They are go-getters. They get things done. They really care about whatever it is because they have such a passion for everything. And if they really like it, they really like it, and they're all about it. They will stop at nothing. A lot of really like high up people, like bosses and things like that, are Aries, because Aries is just like, that's what they're known for. Aries is a cardinal sign. Every sign that begins a cycle is cardinal. I think I'm going to do a separate video on that as well, cardinal signs, and it is also a fire sign. Another way to think of Aries besides like baby would be like the spark of something, the beginning. Cardinal signs are kind of that way, where they start things off, they set the tone. Aries will be like something that they obsess over things, really, honestly, and they have to have things how they want them. Because of this super focused mindset, that's what can sometimes get Aries into trouble, because they are very concerned with themselves. They just can't help it. It's not that they don't care about other people, it's just that they're so concerned with themselves that they sometimes will forget about others. Now, that's not to say that Aries isn't caring. I actually think that Aries is like a baby of the zodiac. They're super needy. They have to be loved. They are usually, because of how they are obsessed with things, they are a lot of times obsessed with whoever their significant other is. They're all about them. They do anything for them. Very dedicated. It's kind of sweet, actually. Depending on where the Aries placements are, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, things like that, is how well it will do with others. So if I have an Aquarius sign placement for like Venus. I am not necessarily like lovey-dovey or really caring about that kind of stuff, but Aries will become so like attached and devoted that it can sometimes scare other signs off or become annoying to them. Now, because Aries is very out in the open with how they feel about things, they're very blunt, they say it how it is. This can be very intimidating to other signs. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. None of these are necessarily a bad thing. If you find the right person who understands those things about you or about your placements, then what does it matter? Because of how Aries view themselves to be like the most important, sometimes they accidentally are takers. They'll take and take and take. So you want to make sure that if you're an Aries, you're not doing this, and that if you're dating an Aries, that you're not letting it happen. Because, you know, it's one of those, some people, you know, you give them an inch and they take a mile. On the other hand, if I were on a sports team, I would want my Aries to be that person in charge. I think that, like, all quarterbacks should be Aries. Although I don't really watch sports, so who am I? But, you know, you see where I'm going? Now, the opposite of Aries is Libra. And we'll get into that in the future, what that means deeper. But that's why a lot of times if you're like a Libra and you find somebody either, you know, because opposites attract sometimes, really cool or intriguing, they might be an Aries, or sometimes you're like, wow, that's the most annoying person I've ever met in my whole life. Aries can also be representative of the first house when you look at your chart. As long as you have your time, you can have that. If you don't have your time, you can still see if you have Aries placements, but they might not necessarily be in the correct houses, which does influence things. I have this light on my face, but you know, I'm just gonna go with it. So go ahead and take a look at your chart and look at if you have anything in your first house or any Aries placements. Where are they? What signs are in the first house? What planets are represented by Aries? That's not the right word, represented, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, do you have an Aries Mercury? Do you feel like when you speak that you command a room? Do you have Aries in your 10th house, Saturn? Do you feel like you're a boss at work? Because that's how you're a boss at work. Aries are actually super dope. They get a bad rap because they are just aggressive and people don't know how to handle it. So, sorry. I prefer my friends to be blunt. I actually don't have any Aries placements. I'm not biased at all. I do have things in my first house, but I just think it's really interesting. So if you're an Aries, I probably offended you, I'm sorry. But, I didn't mean for this look to be so Aries, but maybe that's what we're going to be doing, is just doing looks that represent the signs. I really didn't mean to. I actually did that before on my Instagram, but this looks almost like it too. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and have a good day.